Cardin, and good morning, everybody. Before I get to my question, I wanted to acknowledge an important topic that this committee has discussed and continues to deliberate. We know that renewing our infrastructure fosters economic growth to connect communities and improve quality of life for all Americans. But all too often in the past, policymakers have ignored the needs of the people most directly impacted by these projects and have failed to serve vulnerable communities. Even worse, infrastructure has at times contributed to the destruction of communities, especially low-income neighborhoods and communities of color. Ensuring equitable investment in all communities is an essential aspect of building back better and addressing our nation's infrastructure needs. In California, leaders like Director Omishakin are at the forefront of this effort by recognizing the communities of color and underserved communities have experienced fewer benefits and a greater share of the negative impacts associated with our transportation system, as well as by issuing a race and equity action plan and making tangible commitments, including creating a workforce at all levels that is representative of the communities that it serves, meaningfully engaging communities most impacted by structural racism in the creation and implementation of the programs and projects that impact their daily lives, increasing pathways to opportunity for minority-owned and disadvantaged business enterprises, and combating the climate crisis and its disproportionate impact on frontline and vulnerable communities. So I look forward to working with my colleagues to amplify these commitments at the federal level to create a more equitable transportation system for all Americans. Again, in prior hearings, we talked about the physical impact of too many infrastructure projects, particularly transportation projects, on communities. Today, I want to focus on business opportunities. As we work to pass a bold package to invest in our nation's infrastructure, we must ensure that such funding also helps businesses, especially small, minority-owned and women-owned businesses that have been hardest hit by the COVID-19 pandemic, to rebuild and to thrive. Current regulations require that agencies receiving federal transportation funding use a portion of such funds to support disadvantaged business enterprises. Unfortunately, current regulations can unintentionally create incentives to keep small businesses small, rather than helping them mature into medium-sized businesses or prime contractors. In response to these concerns, agencies like LA Metro have established innovative local programs to support small businesses with the tools to get certified and to grow. These tools include creating a medium business size standard and provide a pathway for small businesses to bid on and win contracts as prime contractors. As Congress seeks to overhaul our nation's infrastructure, I believe that we can scale up these innovative policies to help firms that participate in disadvantaged business enterprise programs grow and prosper. That's why I'm working on legislation to incorporate these tools into the requirements for federal transportation programs and to provide startup capital that will help communities most impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. I understand that Caltrans supports efforts to raise the cap on the size of transportation sector businesses eligible for disadvantaged business enterprise programs. And so, Director Omishakin, can you discuss how reforms like raising the cap and scaling up innovative local programs are critical to addressing the effects of past and present discrimination and helping disadvantaged business enterprises grow?
Thank you, Senator Padilla. Thanks a lot for your statement and your question there, and thank you for your tenured leadership for our state, and now as our U.S. Senator as well. Thank you very much. Small businesses, we know, are the life engine, the lifeblood of the economy of this country. When we talk about recovering from the impacts of the pandemic, there's no doubt that part of where we need to pay the most attention to is the small businesses that exist in all of our states across the country. Today, the cap on the DBE program, the National DBE program, Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program, is roughly $26 million. I think it's $26.29 million. We believe, and I think in reference to your question, Senator, we believe that if that ceiling is increased, if you increase that ceiling from 26 million roughly to possibly 39 million, which is not an arbitrary number. It is the number that the Small Business Administration uses, the SBA. If you bump that ceiling up from 26 million to 39 million to allow businesses to stay in longer in the DBE program, we believe those businesses will become more competitive and have a longer opportunity to stay within the program and continue to do good work and flourish. Today in California, I'll tell you that our program is roughly, our entire small business program is $1.1 billion annually. Our plan is to try to grow that in this next year to roughly 1.2 billion. So at least another 100 million coming into small business in our department here at Caltrans. So we think this is an important step. And thank you for your leadership again, Senator, as you push for something like this.
Thank you very much.